Hi, Lorraine Menza here, and in this video blog, I'm going to talk to you about Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff by Dr. Richard Carlson. So, here you go. Here's the book. And Dr. Richard Carlson has written many books on Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, but this is the first of its kind, and he's written some on family, on teens, on love, on money, on work. So he has many other books that come, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff on your work or your family, whatever. But we're going to talk about this one. This is written a while back ago, maybe in the 80s or early 90s. Very popular book. Um, and people tend to be anxious or they get upset over the silly littlest things in life that can set you back. So we got to learn not to sweat the small stuff and know that it's all small stuff. And there were several concepts that were said in the book. First off, I want to say this is a very consumable book. The chapters are really short. He's got maybe you got like 2 or 3 page chapters. It's not really book. It's easy to get into and very, very good stuff that's in there. So it's worth reading. Some of the concepts that I thought were so interesting was to make peace with imperfection. That was one concept. How many of us expect things to be going just so? It's got to go exactly so, or we don't take any more steps forwards, we don't take any steps backwards, but it's got to go for, it's got to be exactly so. And have you ever known of any perfectionist that's really happy in life or stress-free or just in peace? You really don't. And you don't want to be one of those. So you have to come to the point where you find that there is perfection in being imperfect. And I like that saying. I'm perfectly happy with being imperfect or the situation, whatever it may be. You need to learn, another concept is you need to learn to live in the present moment. How many of us worry about our past and what our futures are going to look like, and we don't actually live our lives here in the present moment? We're constantly worried about this or that. We don't keep centered. We just don't. The past does not define us. It never will, unless you let it. And the future, it's going to happen no matter how much worried you're about it. So stay in the present moment and enjoy your life while you can. Okay, here's the question. Will this matter a year from now? Now that's an important question. Will this matter a year from now? So if something is very irritating and aggravating to you, say, will this matter a year from now? And if it doesn't, you know what? Let it go, because it's not worth it. But if you think it is something that will trigger, or you think it does matter from a year from now, well, then you got to do something. You got to take some type of action. But otherwise, most of the stuff that we worry about won't matter a year from now. So, think about that. That's a great question to yourself. Imagine yourself at your funeral. Whoa, that's who wants to imagine that? But think about it. If you were at your own funeral, what would you want to say to yourself? I mean, would you want to spend your time that you had in your life worrying about the small things? Would you rather spend the time worrying about not being able to go after your dream or not going after your dreams? So you may want to start realizing what would you say to yourself? And if it's like, just forget the small stuff, just go and be, well, then you do that. Or if it's like, you know what, just go after your dreams, don't let anything stop you, then do that. But, imagine yourself at your funeral and kind of looking back on your life and saying, whoa, I could have done this better. And this is how. Okay, imagine the people in your life as a tiny infant or 100-year-old person. Now, we have so many difficult people in our lives. I mean, there's so many difficult people, difficult situations. It could be a sibling, it could be a worker, it could be your dear loved one. It's just there was a situation or something that triggered them into acting out like irrationally or whatever. So during those times, you want to picture that difficult person in that difficult situation as a tiny infant or 100-year-old person, and you will be able to not take it personally. You're like, well, an infant or 100-year-old person, they're allowed to have temper tantrums, and you can accept them much better and just kind of, listen to what they have to say and just let it roll off. And That's a very important, I think that's one of the most important concepts that will help you through difficult situations. Think of your problems as potential teachers. Boy, I mean, you know what? Our problems are put in front of us because they want to be solved. And you know what? If you don't keep solving, they keep coming back. If you have difficulty with love life, it's probably going to continue on until you figure out, maybe I'm too far forward, putting myself out there, whatever it may be. But look at your problems as your teachers. And you may, start being a solution solver instead of a focus on the solutions versus the problems. And once you focus on the solutions, you're going to try different avenues, different approaches, and eventually you will solve that problem. And with that said, I just want to thank you for joining me. And remember, don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff. It's a good read. It's worth you taking the time to read it. Have yourself a great day. Take care.